WD3HT's in there.
W3MMR's in there too. Last try for Ted. I can't hear him, so W3MMR. 1, 2, 3. W3MMR standby.
I hear you good now. Yeah, there you go. I'm hearing you good now. Do you hear me good? Yeah, he hasn't come out with a firmware update in a long time, you know? I mean, not one or anything, but... Yeah, you like to put your foot to the floor all the time. Let me see, I don't know how much mine would do. Oh boy. Hey, hold on a minute. Hey, I'll send you a picture. Look at you, right now I'm using the outboard tuner. Hey. trip the amp. Trip it on overcurrent, you know. Yeah, anyway, now I'm back to the other way up. I'm putting out about 800. See, this really shows the difference on what you can do on sideband compared to AM. Well, it's old school, you know, and that's the way they want to do it, you know, and that happens, and you just make the best of what it is and deal with it. I haven't heard N1 SNG Glenn in a long time. Well, you know, you stick around till later sometimes, so maybe he comes on later. Have you heard him later? Some of them guys used to get on 75 in the afternoon, but I think your crew has chased them all away. Who? Oh yeah, I saw a big signal. I saw him transmitting up there. Yeah, he was. I heard him say something. I think I flipped up there for a second. You don't hear audio in your second receiver, do you? Are you using the USB mic preamp? Okay, then you're not. If you're not using Brian's VLL, you don't have any audio on receiver 2. Reason for that DLL is so you have audio on both receivers when you're using the USB preamp. Are you using the speakers plugged into the jack in the radio? Well, I don't know what you're doing, so I don't know what you get. You know what you get, not me. Maybe your bandpass filter's on. Oh, you must not have your ADC on. You gotta have ADC 3 on ADC 0, ADC 0, DDC 3 on ADC won't be able to hear anything upstairs. Yeah, it goes out of the preamp into my amplifier, the remote control audio amp. Yeah, but that can burn up the radio. And somebody set their USB mic preamp on fire by doing that. Did you hear that Henry amplifier of mine last night? The fan's a little loud.
You had me cracking up. What were you using? Did you have the vacuum one?
I got a little battery vacuum cleaner that's in the laundry room.
You're such an ass, man. That's so funny.
Yeah, that's my Henry. I got a label on it. It's called Henry.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, I just went out and got some tubing and built my dolly. I'm like, this guy's an ass, man.
Duty truck tires on there for wheels.
I'll tell you what, though, it is nice having it on that little dolly, and I mean, I gotta disconnect the coaxes and everything to pull it out, but I got the coax going. Due to the height, I had to drill holes in the backing of the desk to get them, to come straight through, to line up, so I didn't have to use like 90s, and 90-degree adapters, which I hate using. But yeah, it's working out good under there. It's a lot quieter.
Well, I got the AL82 on that footstool, and it's too big to put on a desk, and it's noisy. It's noisy, not as loud as your amp, but just like them underneath the table, because I don't have to mess with them.
Right, and I would like to run a separate 220 line out here. It's not that much money, and it's really easy to do. So like I can leave this amplifier on 80 meters, and if I want to change bands, or you know what I mean, I can use the AL80 for the other bands. I can leave this thing tuned and just set it and forget it.
Why don't you just, do you have a socket for the 220 outlet for the Henry? How do you have it hooked up?
Well, it's not a socket, it's just I have it's basically like an extension cord. Instead of having like, a box, with a plug on it, it's one of those, just a 220 plug on the cord itself. I have the cord coming up like all through the floor, right there, and I just put a socket on the end of the wire there.
I have my outlet. You can buy they're hard to find, but you can get them. It's a duplex outlet with two. It looks like a regular wall socket, except it's got two 220 outlets on it.
I was looking for one of those the other day when I was at Lowe's buying the stuff for the dolly, but I couldn't find one, or one that I was looking for one. It's actually funny you said that. I was looking for one and going to put it in one of them metal boxes, and just kind of like have that sit on the floor.
Yeah, well, they're not going to have it there, but you can get them online and put a box in there and plug both amps in there. You're only going to use one of them.
Yeah, it's not like I'm using both, right?
That's what I have. So I put a wall socket in. I got both plugged into that, but I only use one at a time.
I gotcha. Okay. I'll look one up. I'll probably get one. I can get one on eBay.
Hey, look it up now. I think I got it on Amazon years ago.
I guess it was my turn to transmit and I missed it. Oh well.
How do you know?
Steve, KD3HT messaged me.
So I'm thinking maybe they did, and the guys are saying that they probably checked out, Ted. And I'm hearing, I heard Dale.
Kevin's up there talking about us now.
Kevin who?
GZQ. He was anyway. He was letting us. He was like, "Yeah, I heard him on here earlier when I was getting my coffee, and I haven't heard him in a while, so I believe they checked out, Ted." I told Steve that I'd be back up there when the conditions improved. I'm not going to sit there and fight and, only be able to hear like 3 out of the 10 guys that are checking in. Hello, radio. 3MMR, whiskey, whiskeys. 1,400 whiskeys. Thought I turned it back down. I guess I did, and I don't want it to be that. There's no reason for it to be that high. Hey, high, fine business.
Just send you the link to that outlet.
If it's from Amazon, it might take 2 months to get here.
Oh, maybe that's not the right outlet. Hold on. That's the right outlet.
Oh, man. Oh, are they upped Amazon Prime? What the hell?
What was that?
They upped the price of Amazon Prime.
Is it $119?
$12.99 a month. It used to be $10. I had to sign back up again. I was on here and it's like, why don't I have like the little Prime stuff, and why is it saying fastest shipping is this date? I forgot that through my last phone provider, through Metro PCS, they were paying for my Prime account, and now that I don't have them anymore, I have to pay for it again.
I don't understand.
What do you mean you don't understand? I was Metro PCS. The plan that I had, okay, it was a promotion that I would get Amazon Prime included with my phone plan. So, with the $66 I'd pay a month, Amazon Prime was included in that. When I upgraded my phone, I got that promotion. And now that I don't have Metro PCS anymore, I have to pay for Amazon Prime out of pocket now.
I didn't copy some of that. Ted was a little wide. He was stepping on you.
So eventually, I figured it's got to be arcing someplace.
Sorry, I went up to band to see who that was.
Yeah, it was Ted. Ted was splattering and he was covering you up.
No, he wasn't. That wasn't Ted there, Brea.
The guy's really overmodulated. It's up there now.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I recognize his voice, but I don't know who it is. You know I really enjoy talking to, and is Carrie and Ken, KC2UFU and KD2UDZ. But man, I'll tell you what, they got they had the audio cranked up on that E-rig, like 50 KC wide at night.
He doesn't use any bandwidth limiting, those guys. They just blast a full blast 20 KC wide.
I know, and my AM profile is actually 14.4K wide, but where I have the reason I did that is because the filters, are so sharp and would cut off the high end, really sharply. And it was having kind of like a weird effect on my highs, people were telling me. So I widened it out a bit, and now it like eases down on the side, but I'm still not that wide because of where I run my audio. It was weird. I was having like this shelving effect. It was kind of weird. It kind of smoothed my highs out, and they're not as harsh now. And I don't know why it does that, but it does. Who knows? I was talking to Rob W1AEX about it, and he said he noticed the same thing.
Well, yeah, but you only notice that if you're really pushing those highs up until that cutoff point. If you don't boost them up there, it's naturally rolled off.
Well, the thing is, like, if I send you a picture of my profile, like, at 5K, it's pulled all the way down. I have 12 dB a cut at 5K, and then 6 dB a cut at 4.
Why do you cut? I don't understand. What radio is that?
That's this radio. To get that whistling out of there. Remember that whistling effect you said I was having before? I have to put a big cut at 5K to get rid of that.
I don't even know what you mean.
Before, okay, before you used to tell me like, that your highs are real harsh. So there's like this cutting effect to your highs, and there was a weird peak around 4,500 hertz. And to combat that, I had to cut 5K, put a really big cut at 5K, and then a decent sized cut at 4K to get rid of that.
I don't know. I just let the highs take care of themselves. I don't do any boost or cut up there. It just rolls off naturally with your human voice. Don't do any of it. The only time you're going to get what you're saying, and in my experience, is if you got all kinds of highs going in at that point, and then you're cutting them off sharp. If it's just a natural voice going up there, you won't notice it. You don't notice any of that on mine.
Well, your voice isn't the same as mine. Okay, it's not like I don't have any processing going into the Anon. It's just I can send you a picture of my profile. Like everything in CSC is flat. That's up to 3,200. I have no boost anywhere in the high end range, and then it's all cut at 4,000 and 5,000 hertz. It's all cut.
Looking at mine, I don't. On sideband, it's different on mine. I have some boost, but a little bit up there, but I'm just cutting off at third. Well, you were talking about AM anyway. My AM profile, let me look at that. Well, I don't use any EQ at all, and I'm pretty well flat on CFC all the way across, but I don't use much boost on ALC comp. It may go above maybe 1 dB every once in a while, 2 dB on ALC compression.
Hi, sorry, I was switching back and forth between my profiles there. I wanted to see take some screenshots and captures and send them to you on Messenger real quick. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Where?
Bill, remember what I told you. When you cut, EQ is nothing but relative. Look at all the cut that you have. Okay, so if you match your cut with your other frequencies are much higher in level than the frequencies that are cut, which is just like boosting them.
What, since those frequencies are pretty much flat, what, a 2000, 2600, and a 3200, I have 1 dB of boost, 2600 and 3200, it's not even up in that range of 5 or 6K.
You're not following me, what I'm talking. Don't pay no attention to the numbers. It's what one frequency is relative to another frequency. Your high frequencies are much higher in level than your low frequencies because of your low frequency cut. So the difference between your lows and highs is dramatic. Do you follow me?
Yes, I see what you're saying, but that's how I had to do it. If I have the lows up any higher, I was told that I sound muddy, I sound this, I sound that. So this is the way that I had to do it to get to sound decent.
Now you see, if you want to see how much boost you really have, you gotta say do the math between the low setting of your cut and the high frequency. So how many dB difference between them? So in other words, if you pushed up those lows, if you pushed up everything all at one time to those low cuts get to zero, then you can see how much boost you have at the highs. They'd be almost off the scale. A lot of people don't realize that about EQ. It's all relative. The numbers, the pluses and the minuses don't make any difference. It's the relative difference between one frequency and the other is the amount of boost you have for one frequency compared to another.
Okay, I see what you're saying, but I don't know. Maybe your voice is just different. You're just the master of EQing and can do it with 3 frequencies. You know what I mean? But like this is, I tried every way. You know what I mean to make things relative, I guess, of what you're saying. It started out with a flat EQ profile. And this is the way it worked out. So I tried 7 ways from Sunday to make it work any other way, but I couldn't. Maybe now, since you can see my EQ curve, you can make a relative EQ curve of what you're saying and see if you can get the same result.
What I'm seeing is by looking at your EQ curve, I'm seeing what happens to you when you cut. Then you have to cut those. Well, first of all, I don't see this. Oh, okay, I see it on the top. Yeah, you're fighting. You're boosting on CFC and you're fighting it with the 10-band EQ. So you boosted at one point and then you're knocking it out with the other. But if you didn't have either one, you'd end up the same way.
What am I knocking out? Boosting on one and knocking out on the other.
Boosting in the CFC, and you're knocking it out with the 10-band. It depends which comes first in the scheme. If if you're cutting with the 10-band EQ to make up for the cut, you're boosting it with the CFC.
What am you? But I don't get what you're saying because there's no 4K. Okay, I'm rolling it down. I'm extending basically what CFC is, which stops at 3200 hertz. Right, and I have cut in the same exact places that I have it on CFC, so I don't get what you mean.
You're boosting it with CFC, but you're cutting it with the 10-band. You don't understand what... if you were here, I would show you. I could actually show you on a stereo, which would make it much easier, okay, to demonstrate... the way EQ works, that it's nothing but relative. The numbers don't make any difference. What the difference is the ratio between the cut and the boost is how much you have. It's a ratio of one against the other. It makes no difference what if one says plus 10, one says plus 8. None of that makes a difference. It's the relative difference between low and high.
Right, I understand that. I get that point. Okay, I get that, but I just don't get what you're saying. I'm fighting one with the other. I don't see that. I don't see that at all.
Well, you're cutting the highs on the 10-band and you're boosting them on the CFC.
I don't know. I just see the. I think I see what you're saying, or where you're getting that from. But to me, it's just I'm rolling off. I'm extending because it stops at 3200, and I'm cutting up higher than that. You get what I'm saying? Because okay, when I was trying to get out what I was hearing, okay, I couldn't do it with CFC. It wasn't adjusting the correct frequencies. I could bring down 3200, 26, 2000, all those frequencies, and it wasn't getting out what I was hearing. I had to go into use the TX EQ and set it at 5 and 6K. Okay, and put cut in there to get rid of what I was hearing. Anything that I would do in CFC wouldn't take care of what I was trying to do.
Why don't you change the turnover points of CFC, make them higher?
Because it was, I don't know, because I have the transmit EQ to do that, because it was sounding decent with the way I had it in CFC, and all I wanted to get out of there basically was those high frequencies, and there was a little bit of touch-up I wanted to do on the other frequencies, which is why you see the other ones adjusted in there, and I wasn't going to go in there and reset everything and have to do all my compression over again and all these frequencies and figure out, where I need the frequencies at just to get a little bit of whistle out of the high end, when all I had to do was go in to see a, transmit EQ and take care of it that way.
Let me send you my transmit EQ. Profile. And see what you say. I don't use the 10-band EQ. I don't use it at all.
Yeah, you sent me your profile before, and I've tried to use it just directly, and it just, I cannot. It's just all mud. I sound like I'm in a washing machine. I'm serious. I've done it before. I remember when I did it, we were on AM. You sent me your profile. I changed over to it. I started talking. They're like, oh, my God, I sound like this.
What microphone are you using?
A Shure SM7B.
Oh, okay. Well, I have I'm using the RE27 or the V1. They're both brighter.
Dude. I'm getting some ridiculous interference. It's like dropping my noise level down on the pan adapter. It's like, oh, it's like everything's getting garbly. It's weird.
You see all that sawtooth up around 3895. Do you see all that?
What in the world is going on here?
I'm getting a bunch of that sawtooth interference above the military radio net.
No, I don't see that here, but what you're seeing is a switching power supply. I'm getting like a wideband interference, like the whole band is dipping down.
getting on 85 when I was on the Aces.
Yeah, everything gets all crunchy sounding, and like your audio gets all crunched up, and the whole pan adapter, the floor drops. Really weird. And it's not like my match is changing. It's still 1.02 to 1.
That's why Edwin Armstrong invented FM.
Yeah, I wonder what that is. I never experienced it before. My match is still the same, so it's not like my antenna fell over.
Sometimes if you run like a 4 to 5 to 1 SWR, your noise level goes down.
I know, it's pretty cool how that works, isn't it?
Connect the antenna, that drops.
You know what it's acting like? It's acting like it's like reverse static crashes. It's like every once in a while it's like a static crash, but the noise floor drops and everything gets garbly sounding as opposed to it going up.
I'm seeing a lot of strong signals up there in the military now.
Yeah, so am I.
I'll let you in now, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. Hold on a second. Let me try turn this thing off and turn it back on to see if it's still doing this. Because this is I've never ever experienced this before. Hold on one second. W3 MMR. One, two, 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 two. And it's definitely still doing it. Who knows, man? Who knows what's going on in the atmosphere?
Quarantine going to be over?
Never, because right now they're not even saying Philadelphia's hit its has seen its peak and is coming down yet. So in South Jersey, they say the transmission rate is higher than North Jersey now. So we're still in this for the long haul, man.
I'm sick of it.
Yeah, you and me both, dude. I want baseball.
I don't know. I was going to go to Walmart today. Not the alley cat food, but I'm getting down there low, and today's Saturday. I'm not going to go on a weekend. I can wait till the weekday. It'll be less crowded than. Well, not that anybody's working, but it'll be less crowded on Monday.
Yeah, you go early, don't you, during like this special time?
Well, ShopRite is open an hour early. They open at 7. But I was talking about Walmart in Vineland, but I'm not going to go to either one of them on a weekend.
Yeah, that would be a little bit crazy. I know I try to go to Walmart, say, on a Sunday before they started this, you got to wait in line thing to go in, and it was like a madhouse. It was like people were just going to Walmart to get out of the house.
I want to W2SDI. I want to get some takeout food. I'm tired of eating the same things over and over and over again. I want to be waited on and give me some food or something, man. I mean, something different.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Luckily here, I got that Uber Eats, and I can order out if I wanted to.
I can do that too if I wanted to pay for it, but I can't afford it.
Yeah, I don't do it that much. I've done it probably twice in the past 2 or 3 months. Just because I was hungry, and it was like I hadn't gone to the grocery store, and I didn't feel like making another turkey and buffalo chicken sandwich, so I was like, I'm in the mood for a cheesesteak, so I ordered a cheesesteak.
Cost $50 by the time you got it?
What'd you say?
It cost $50 by the time you got it?
No, it was like 20.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I also got an order of fries, order of cheese. It came with fries and a soda, and I didn't know that. I ordered an order of cheese fries with it too, and then you got tax, and then there's a delivery fee. It's like $1.50 delivery fee. So It was about $20 after tax and everything.
You have to tip the guy, right?
Yeah, and then the tip's like the $2 or whatever.
You don't give the tip. You put it on the phone, right?
Yeah, you choose right in the menu. It asks you like, before you order, you can put the tip in, or you can wait till afterwards. Like after they deliver it, and you get a notification on your phone to rate and tip the driver.
Yeah, your highs are getting raspy because of that EQ.
My highs are getting raspy.
I'm only a kid.
I'm gonna kill you.
You better boost them and then cut them afterwards.
Yeah, I'll boost you.
Oh, what's the difference? I mean, you sound fine. I mean, who cares what the knobs say? Move on, man.
No, it was just I don't care, and I haven't changed these profiles in quite some time. I was just curious. I don't even know how that conversation got started.
And the profiles on the.
Man, something's going on here. Hold on a second. Yeah, this has to be in my radio. This is weird.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What I'm telling you about the pan adapter and the interference is because when I key up, it goes away. Okay, and the only way I can describe it is if you ever went into like your noise blanker settings, okay, and you were to like turn the threshold down, and it gets all funky like sounding. That's what it's doing.
Maybe it's back.
I don't think it's VAC because it's the pan adapter and everything. It's not just the audio.
I'm getting that sawtooth again up above us. It's really strong now. I got to run down the hall, and you don't have to go anywhere this morning, do you?
Nah, I've only been going once a week, so I go on Mondays.
You've been busy at work?
Yeah, I've been real busy. The one other technician that quit came back, so we've had a little more help.
Is he the bus guy?
Yeah, he's the bus guy. He's been getting a ride from the boss. Well, look, do what you got to do. I'm going to sit here and try to figure out what's going on with this radio.
So you guys must really need people for your boss.
Yeah, well, we've been really busy, man, so it's what we've had to do.
Where am I going to get my pickup truck at?
A dealership. I don't know. It's up to you. You can get it from an independent person. Just keep. If you go online and look, send me the ones that you're interested in. I'll take a look at them.
I'm not real serious yet, but I'll think about it, see what happens. We'll see what. Sorry, I'll run down the hall, upstairs and stuff. So I'll catch you when you're on.
All right, man. I'll see you. 7-3 W3 MMR.
WSDI.
KK4GZQ. Okay, I'll try to send it to Steve then, Ted, real good. W3PWW with the old military radio net. KK4GZQ, and boy, I'm sorry about the band conditions, but they seem to have tapered off and starting to lose the band here a little bit, Ted. So anyway, I did hear KW1I, Dale still holding in here strong. Ernie, you were stronger on that last. And also Jeep, KD3HVG was strong here, but I haven't heard anything out of. So I don't know what the band's doing here with Steve. So I'll try to go ahead and turn it to him, and I'll keep listening in here and see what we can figure out here. I did lose you, Ted. I'm starting to get pretty faint down here. KD3HT, Steve, bail me out. KK4GZQ with the old military radio net.
W3MMR.
Yeah, I hear you fine, Steve. And good morning. That was Perry that broke back in there. Good morning to Perry. Go ahead, Steve.
Favorably here. I heard W3MMR and also KD3HT just had a great transmission, and he turned it back to you. So go ahead, Ted. KW1I. it would probably go to Kevin again if he's in after, let's see, after Jeep. I think it would go to Kevin, and then we could pick up Perry and Steve after that. I'm sure that would be fine, Ted. Okay, Ted. Well, this is good if the band is changing and we're hearing more stations. I'll keep it short, but I did want to answer. I am copying Ernie just fine. Lovely signal now. There's no snow in Bow, but we did have snow flurries of dusting, and I think we may get a dusting on Monday night. But there's no snow here, and we're located just below Concord, New Hampshire, immediately south of Concord, New Hampshire, Ernie. So you're coming in great. The N1GPY, and the group, this is KW1I.
Okay, KW1I, the old military radio, that N1GPY. Okay, yeah, I know right where you're at. I used to get out in that area quite a bit, back in the motorcycle days. So I used to go to Loudon quite often, and used to get around the area quite a bit there. So I haven't been out there in a few years, so. But usually if I'm going somewhere these days, I'm heading south because I got a daughter in South Carolina there. And, but anyway, let's see. Kevin, I heard you last time. You were fading out. Pretty normal for this time of day. And I heard Perry. Not too sure if I heard Steve or not. I didn't. Maybe I don't know what happened. I didn't hear Steve. Ted, you're dropping a little bit. You know, you're banging in here, and Pete, I'm still hearing Pete pretty well, and let's see. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to make this the last one. I got some things to do before I start my day here, and imagine them boys itching to get their tires changed. Probably a lot of tires today. Big heavy stuff, you know, mud tires, and I'm sure you know what that's about. So, I gotta eat my Wheaties this morning. Anyway, good to hear everybody this morning, and band's been pretty good up here. I can't complain. It's been pretty good. I'm sure there'll be a lot of stations that come in here now with band shortening up. So guys have a great day there. Ted, good job, and we'll catch you next week probably. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been in here. What have I been doing? I've been lazy. I've been sleeping in, I guess. But we'll try to get in here next week, and like I said, I hope everybody has a great weekend there. Let's see. Over to you, Jeep. You're hearing me. T3HBG and the group N1GPY.
Jeep, I think we ought to send it to Perry and then Steve, and then check on Kevin. I didn't hear Kevin come back. W3MMR, are you there, Perry? KW1I.
Hey, I'm here. Good morning. And I'm sending it to Steve, KD3HT, correct?
QFL.
All right. Good morning, everyone. W3MMR here on the old military radio net. Was here bright and early, about 4 o'clock, but obviously band conditions were not the best. Starting to hear quite a few signals in here. Well, not quite a few. I should say 2. I'm hearing Ernie, and I'm also hearing Dale. Dale, you're very strong. You're always strong. I mean, you seem to have a pipeline here. Let me turn the drive down here. Just running my SDR this morning, my Apache Labs Anon 200D. Henry 3KD classic amplifier. Homebrew balanced down network tuner and 600 ohm ladder line fed 80 meter doublet, apex 65 feet. That's the working conditions and running about 250 watts of carrier this morning. So with that being said, I'll send it up to Steve, who hopefully can hear me soon. I see it's getting light outside there. So up to you, Steve, KD3HT in the old military radio net. This is W3MMR. Good morning, good morning.
Go ahead, Steve. Perry turned it over to you.
And I'll see if I can get Steve to take it, Dale. KD3HT, KK4GZQ. Go ahead and pick it up, Steve.
You're strong, Kevin.
You are too. Okay, Steve, you tailed off just a little bit as you handed it to me, but you were strong throughout your whole transmission. KD3HT with the old military radio net, KK4GZQ. Good morning, everybody. And I heard you say that Brian took in KN4R, and maybe Ted. I'll send it back to Ted and see if Ted will Brian. Perry, you're strong down here. You're about 25 and 30 over on the HQ 180 this morning, sounding good on the Anon. And through the whole list from Dale to Ernie to Jeep, everybody is still copyable here. And I haven't heard from Ted in a while. Anyway, just a couple things. I'll let them move the band, move the rotation on around here. Perry, I saw a nice story into all you guys that are up in the area. Company out of Philadelphia locked themselves in for about 28 days and worked 12-hour shifts of making that polypropylene stuff that they manufacture in efforts to try to make more of the masks that are the employees there at the company there somewhere in Philadelphia just went through 28 days of 12 on, 12 off, and they all stayed right there at the factory. I thought that was pretty inspiring. Anyway, Steve, you asked me about the Delta Loop. It's doing great at 30 feet. This one's fed with a quarter wavelength piece of 75 ohm coax and 50 ohm on back into the shack here. It's resonant on 15 and 40, and it covers a lot of the 20 meter band without a tuner. However, I did put a tuner in line here, traded with a local ham here. My good friend Don, WC4D, and I've got a Nye Viking. It's a MB2, Mike Bravo 2. Nice little tuner. I'll have to say it works and works well. So with that, let me send it back to Ted and remind Ted that KN4R is there. Thanks for running the TK4GZQ.
WA1JUJ. 3AHGY, Kilowatt Alpha 8, Tango Uniform Romeo.
This one's WA2.
Okay, good morning, Ted. The switch just changed about 30 seconds ago. W3PWW and the old military radio net. Good morning to all. This is Brian, KN4R in Sherrills Ford, North Carolina. And originally I was only hearing Dale, Steve, and Ernie. And the funny thing is I haven't heard Kevin or Jeep. And Ted, you were on that list, but less than a minute ago things changed here. So now I'm hearing you, and I was also hearing the check-in. So anyway, good morning to everybody. And let's see, I'm using a Globe Champion 350 here and a World War II era black HRO, but just glad to be in here. And Ted, I'll pass it back to you, and you can continue building the list. W3PWW and the old military radio net. This is KN4R. Over.
WW and the old military man, WW9W. Good morning, Captain. Big signal up this way, Junior. Was not stopping KN 4RR. Didn't hear the other station, but you and Chad, you and Kevin sitting in like gangbusters, like I used to say. Anyway, my name is Robert.
Hey, the band threw the switch.
Yep, WW9W, W3PWW. That's a lot of W's, isn't it, Robert? Anyway, great to hear you on this morning. And, yeah, GP's further up in the list here. He's about second from the top, I think, now. But we'll get around to him here in a couple of minutes. Next station up is WA1JUJ, KA8TUR, and WA2EJT. WA1JUJ, W3PWW, and the old military radio net. Go ahead.
W3PWW from WA1JUJ. Good morning to you, Pat, and the rest of the net. Signals have come up here in New Western Massachusetts. The 9 station I can just barely hear, just over the voice, so couldn't copy too much what I'm saying. But everybody else is coming in pretty well now. The GRC 19 this morning, Q195 putting out about 115 watts. My dipole is up about 30. We got about 30 here this morning. Looking to be a pretty nice day. We're supposed to get up into the low 60s. So we'll probably be able to get out and do some more brush clearing this morning. Yesterday was kind of a washout. Rained off and on most of the day. today and get some more work done here. Not too much on the radio front here. Trying to concentrate on cleaning up the yard and getting some stuff done there. The stuff is still sitting on the bench here. I still got one of my part on the bench here, trying to figure out why I'm not getting any current load on the bench. So that's the project that's on the bench, and hopefully I'll get back to that. So let's see. I think it comes down to WAATUR, and Ted, I heard AJ1G in there, so you want to pick him up. So WAATUR from WA1JUJ.
KAATUR, go ahead.
This KAATUR, Jim here, the location here is Milford, Michigan. Boy, signal conditions are all over the place today. Didn't hear you at all before, and now you're up and a lot stronger here. In any case, right here today is the GRC 236 running AME, probably nearly 400 watts of AME, the compatible AM system, into the dipole on the roof. Had some fun this last week. I purchased a DY17 dynamotor from Republic Aviation Surplus on eBay. A guy sold it for $50. A used one here. I got it shipped up here. It wasn't very pretty physically, but I was able to actually clean it up and actually got it working on my ART-13. So I didn't use the ART-13 today because of the signal conditions, but I am looking forward to getting on the air on the old military radio net with that ART-13. I like the new stuff, but boy, it sure is fun to get the old World War II era and stuff running and actually be able to use it. In any case, signal conditions here in Milford, Michigan are improving significantly. By the way, the Dallas station, WW9W, comes in very nicely here in Milford, Michigan. Actually, Dale KW1I has the winning signal here. Ted, you went from no to good copy here. JUJ very weak. No copy on KN4R. Here's hoping, as time goes on, things continue. In any case, I'll turn it over to the next one here, which is WA2EJT. Go ahead and pick it up there. This is KAATUR, Milford, Michigan.
WA2EJT, go ahead, Joe.
Hearing you this morning, finally, Ted. I've been on here listening since before 5 a.m. And I heard quite early Dale and Ernie and Kevin, but not much of anything else. I'll just report here that I had a nice long telephone conversation yesterday with John Link, W4HWT, anticipating that I might not be able to hear him on the net today. And I'm using one new piece of equipment here on my BC348. I had been using a broadcast band Q5, but I also had set up in parallel with that a BC453. AM signals are a little narrow on it, but it's interesting to compare the BC453 output with the BC946 broadcast command receiver output. I'm going to make this my one and only transmission. You have a lot of stations here, and maybe some old buzzard transmission. But it's great to finally hear you, Ted. I'll be listening for another 15 minutes or so, but I doubt that it would be coming around back to me in that time. So, again, great to hear you, Ted, and thank you for hanging in there through these unsettled conditions. So, good morning, Ted.
2EJC.
Okay, Joe, very good. Yeah, the signal really came up towards the end of your transmission. You're almost pinning the meter over on the R398 here. Tremendous signal. And KATUR also great strong signal into here this morning. Okay, got one more station left. That's AJ1G. AJ1G, go ahead.
Yes, good morning, Todd, and the Old Military Radio Net. Chris, AJ1G here in Stonington, Connecticut. Yeah, just got up. I slept in this morning. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. It sounds like the band was pretty long because right as I kicked in, I think I said, hey, the band switched when I came up, so I guess it's been long. I would tried listening a little bit earlier on the bedside radio, so to speak, upstairs, and didn't sound like things were doing too well. But I'm glad that the band is coming in. You're very strong. Jim out there and with his AME sounding very good. And Joe, good morning to you. You're doing quite well. And Kevin, JUJ, nice signal out of the GRC-19. I'm on the... whoa, what am I on here? Okay, yeah, I'm all right. Just look at my watt meter, kind of funny. Yeah, I'm on the the Central Electronics 20A and 600O. Perry, you should know that you've heard me recently, and I've been making people's ears bleed with this thing a bit, and I found out the problem yesterday. I was on the sideband net, the vintage sideband net. I was getting all sorts of feedback in my audio, RF type feedback, and make a long story short, the problem was the little 9-volt battery I have in a kind of a adapted phantom power supply for this crystal microphone. Not crystal. Boy, starting to sound like Joe Biden here. The cheap Chinese condenser mic. The battery had been plugged in all the time, and apparently I didn't think there was any signal drain going on, but over a couple of months here, the thing went down from 9 volts to only 1.5 volts, and it has now been changed and brought the audio back really nice. It should sound much better than you've heard from me lately. So, Todd, I'll turn it back to you, and I don't know if we'll have time for another round here. I guess so. Let's everyone have a great weekend. If for some reason conditions flip around again, but hopefully I'll be back for another round here. W3PWW and the Old Military Radio Net, AJ1G.
Yeah, very good, Chris. AJ1G, W3PWW. Also a very nice signal down here. Okay, on your microphone situation there. Yeah, I want to try the BC191, but not going to do it this morning, but try to get that thing back up and going. Found out what one of the problems was. Seems like the tube sockets they're using it, they press up from the bottom, and I think some of the age of the solder that was used, the wire lead that was going into it had broken loose from the solder, and about all I had to do was turn it upside down and flow some solder down in there to pick up the end of the wire. Apparently it was under some kind of tension or something, and it kind of went up inside the tube pin again. Anyway, got that one fixed, so trying to get it back up and going. Anyway, not this morning. Yeah, I think I'll go back up to the top and make one last round here if we can. So the rotation will be KW1I, K3HVG, W3MMR, KD3HT, KK4GZQ, KN4R, WW9W if he's still in here, WA1JUJ, KA8TUR, and AJ1G. Then back to net control. KW1I, Dale, up to you, and then pass it to K3HVG. This is W3PWW in the old military radio. Now go ahead.
W3EMD.
What's on the list? Go ahead, Dale.
Did you want me to turn it to Ernie, or did Ernie leave? Over?
Ernie checked out. Goes to W3MMR.
Okay, and I'll turn it to, nice, let's see. I think I turned it over to HVG you mentioned, and I didn't realize that Ernie checked out. Very good. Well, good morning to the net from Bow, New Hampshire. It's lightened up quite nice here, but I think it's going to be overcast today. Ted, you're coming in great. Our Jeep has been coming in great the whole time. And Harry, you're rolling right in now. And I feel like we do have a pipeline, because most of the time you are very, very strong. And this morning, I heard, when I first got on, I heard your signal and your father's signal, and it was so low that I went around checking to make sure I didn't have the dummy load connected and the right coax. I thought sure something was wrong here. But most of the time you're rolling right in at that particular hour. So, and you are now. Steve, you're coming in good, and I do save the readings on these various transmitters that I have, because I can forget easily. The problem with the GPT 750, which has been on 75, and I haven't had any other band for a long, long time, is that right in front of it is my Harris RF104 amp, and I've been putting some things on top of the amp and testing, and the cables have been going over the back, and they've hit the other knobs, and I'll reach down and unplug a coax connector, and in the process I'll hit one of these knobs, and so a couple of things were off, and I didn't even check on it. Kevin is coming in good. I haven't heard Brian yet. Robert, I don't know if he's still copying, but he was coming into New Hampshire just fine. And we heard Kevin JUJ, and he was, I knew the band was squared away when I heard Western Massachusetts. And Jim, thanks for a nice report, and it sounds like there'll be an ART-13 operating out there in the future. And good morning to Joe. We'll see you probably a little bit later this morning, Joe, in OCAN enhanced BC348 receiving setup. And I wanted to mention to you, I reorganized my garage, Ted, and got the Jeep away from the back wall and got it out, started it up. And I tried to check in with some of the fellows on AM with the T195, and I didn't have any grid drive, so I'm going to have to pull that thing out of the Jeep and see what's going on. It worked the last time I tried it, but I left it in the garage over the winter, and probably got pretty cold, and something's goofed up in that now. And Steve, the Delta Loop is all installed, and I got a good report in Europe, and it was a little bit louder than the 130-foot doublet, but I've got to get some other reports and see how it does locally and everything else to see if I'm going to keep it installed there. So this was probably my long transmission this morning, and I will turn it over to K3HVG. Are you there, Jeep?
Good morning, KK1K.
Stand by.
Okay, very good. KW1I. And the old military radio net, K3HVG. Dale's still copying you well over S9. And Ted, you're 30 over 9 now. What a difference a minute or two makes. Just want to say hello to Robert this morning, if he's still on the frequency. I haven't talked to you in a while, sir. Nice signal from down Texas way. Good to hear your signal. Let's see, Chris. Good signal from Stonington. It always is pretty good. And we did copy Joe this morning. Things are tough. I had to use the Birmingham SDR to hear a lot of stations this morning, but things sound pretty good right now. Perhaps Perry will copy, in fact. Ted, we're going to get up your way eventually. I do have that disc all set up and ready to bring up. And got a couple of other things. So we got some painters coming this morning, so I'm going to monitor till the end of the net, however. So good morning to all, and everybody stay safe and stay sane. W3MMR, and the old military radio net. K3HVG, over.
K3HVG in the old military radio net. This is W3MMR. Good morning to you, Jeep. Good copy here now that the band, things have kind of straightened up here. And I can hear everyone now, which is great. Good morning to you, Ted. Good signal here. Sounding great this morning. Good morning to Chris, AJ1G. Big signal, but Chris, you might be hitting the audio a little too hard. When I was on AM and not on synchronous, didn't have the sync detector on, it was pretty distorted, especially in the fades. When I switched synchronous the synchronous detector on, good Lord, I need more coffee. It cleared it up, so and you got a lot of forward swing, man. You got some swing in your thing this morning, Chris. But on sync, it sounded fine. On synchronous, it sounded really good. So probably just back the audio down a tad, and it would be great on either or. But anyway, but nevertheless, great to hear you, Chris. Been a little while. I guess it's on. Well, I guess I talked to you, I think, yesterday morning and the morning before I went to work there. So good morning to you. Good morning to Steve, KD3HT. Great to hear you, Steve. I was picking you up earlier on the North Carolina Web SDR. You were coming in very well there, but I wasn't coming in well there, which was kind of weird because we're not that far away. But that's Mother Nature. Good morning to Kevin, GZQ. Big signal the whole time here, Kevin, as always. Great to hear you, buddy. Good morning to Jeep. I think I already said good morning to you, Jeep, but nevertheless, great signal here, Jeep. Dale, great signal. And Ernie had a good signal down here most of the morning. Ernie's usually one of the first ones I can hear down this way, being he's all the way up there in Maine. And same with you, Dale. And with that being said, if I forgot anybody, I apologize. Thanks, Ted, for running the net and sticking it out here for us in the mornings. And nevertheless, take care, guys. Everybody have a great weekend. We're going to say 7-3. Oh, and real quick, we're just on the SDR this morning. Apache Labs Anon 200D into a Henry 3KD classic amplifier, into a homebrew Balance L network tuner, into a 600 ohm ladder line fed 80 meter doublet, apex 65 feet. So those are the operating conditions. 7-3, guys. Have a great weekend. Everybody stay safe. Don't go out if you don't have to, and if you do, wear that mask, wash those hands, and get back home safely so we can all gather here again next Saturday morning. Up to you, Steve. KD3HT in the old military radio net. This is W3MMR. 7-3 for now.
Hey, okay, Perry. Good to hear you direct. Good sounding radio there, and hopefully the new amp is working well for you. And yeah, good reports now all the way around. I agree with Chris's audio report. Over. Definitely hitting it too hard. Kevin, good to hear you this morning. Jim, your signal is not as strong here this morning. It's not you, of course. But just shows you how weird things are, because you're usually very strong here. But good signal, Robert, WW9W down in Dallas, sounding good up here into the Poconos.
Good morning to you, Ted.
So good to hear you as well. Joe jumped in there for
good morning to Chris, AJ1G, big signal, but Chris, you might be hitting the audio a little too hard.
And who am I missing? Buzz,
when I was on AM and not on synchronous, didn't have the sync detector on.
fun around
it was,
and
it
doing
was
good.
pretty,
Brian, nice strong signal as always.
distorted,
So you're
especially
doing
in the
great
fades.
as well.
When I
And
switched
looking forward to a sunny day here. It's overcast right now.
Good Lord,
and
need more coffee.
probably in the mid-30s, but
it cleared
supposed
it up,
to warm
so,
up nice. So looking forward
you
to
got
a
lot
good
of
day in
forward swing,
between,
man.
in between the rain
You got
drops.
some swing in your thing this morning, Chris.
Okay on the
It
40-meter
sounded
delta
fine.
loop.
On synchronous, it sounded really good. So probably just back you down.
I'm assuming that is.
It would be great on either or.
Where your other antennas are.
But
I
anyway,
wonder if it's
but nevertheless, great to hear you, Chris. Been a little while.
Along the trees.
I guess I talked to you. I think yesterday morning, and the
both
morning before I went
ends
to
of
work there. So, good morning to you. Good morning to Steve, KD3HT. Great to hear you. Steve, I was picking you up earlier on the North Carolina Web SDR.
Both ends of the base of
you were coming in very well there, but I wasn't coming in well there.
Along that big row of trees.
Which is kind of weird because we're not that far away.
But I use them. They work well.
Good morning to Kevin, GZQ.
That's what this is right here. It could go up a little bit higher, and it will, but just not right now.
Good morning to Jeep. I think I already
very
said
good with that.
Jeep, but
Keep it
nevertheless,
moving along, and back down to Mr. Clean there. KK4 GZQ. And the old military radio.
Ernie had a good signal down here most of the morning. Ernie's usually the first ones I can hear.
Mighty strong as well. KD3HT with the old military radio net. Good morning from KK4GZQ. Kevin, located just outside of Lexington, Kentucky, about 16 miles to the southwest in Woodford County, where the Woodford Reserve bourbon comes from as well. I mentioned Wild Turkey a little earlier, but actually in our county, Woodford Reserve is tops. Anyway, just a little history. Good morning to, there's been several check-ins. I did hear AJ1G, I heard Chris. I know there's a K8TUR in there. KK1K checked in there, I think there last, Ted, and I think you're going to try to pick him up. Good morning. And I heard Robert, WW9W, big signal out of near Dallas there in Allen, Texas this morning, Robert. And Steve was wondering how to in all the mud, and I think you've got maybe an idea because you always talk about kicking up dust on a muddy road, so you might share your secret with Steve up there in PA, KD3HT. Good morning, Robert. Great to hear you. Back to you, Ted. Or let's see here. I think it goes to Brian, KN4R, and if not, maybe it goes back to net control. KN4R with the old military radio net. KK4GZQ. Good morning, all.
Your signal is back, Kevin.
Good, KK4GZQ with the military radio net. This is Brian, KN4R returning. Very good. Well, sure am glad the band switched because I'm copying everybody now. And Kevin, you're just booming in here. And in fact, everybody's coming in just fine now. So, very good on the update from Nunsuch there, too. And the Woodford Reserve, that sounds good. All three of my sons were in your state recently at a bourbon distillery. They were buying a barrel, an entire barrel with some other guys. I have not seen the fruits of their labor yet, but I'm looking forward to it. So, I can remember driving through the state of Kentucky one night when I was working, going from place to place, and just admiring the smell there, Kevin. So, anyway, good morning to Robert if he's still around. He was coming through just great here in Sherrills, North Carolina. And good morning to Dean, KK1K, and I think there's others going to check in, so I'm not going to hold it long. I'm sorry about Deerfield. Down here we're hopeful for a little ham fest we have in late July in Waynesville, North Carolina. It used to be the Asheville Ham Fest. And then we've got a couple in August. And of course the Shelby Ham Fest and Labor Day. So we're hoping some of that happens. So weather here, it's going to be sunny in the AM and rain after 5 p.m. So I guess my wife will drag me back out in the yard for a bit, but look forward to messing with some radios afterwards. So the only old military news here is I was able to snag a 3570 crystal off of eBay it's in the BC610 package, the FT171B. And I shouldn't say this, but if anybody's looking for some BC610 crystals on good frequencies, there's one for 3875, one for 3880, and one for 3885 on there right now. And I thought about emailing the guy, all from the same seller, making him a package deal, but I haven't done that yet. So if somebody needs one of those, just go for it. So anyway, I'm going to move it back to Robert, and if Robert doesn't pick it up, then I think it goes to Dean. But I might be wrong. So WW9W in the old military radio net. Good morning, Robert. This is KN4R. Over.
WW9W, go ahead. One more time, WW9W, go ahead, Robert. Guess he's checked out. On down the list we had W81JUJ, KUTUR, AJ1G, W3EMD, Echo Mike Delta, and KK1K. W1JUJ, W3PWW, and Ed, go ahead.
W3PWW from WA1JUJ. Okay, fine, Ted. Copy and most everybody had a little problem with Brian there. He was right at the noise level, and I did not hear Robert back this time around. Won't hold it here too long. Good to hear everybody this morning, and hopefully we'll be in here again next week. I'll say good morning to Buzz. I heard you in there, and to Dean. And you also got John in there, Ted. VY2WW was also in there. So I say 73's on this one, and it goes out to you, Jim. I don't know if Jim is copying me, Ted, but I'll send it out to him. KA8TUR from WA1JUJ.
WA1JUJ, this is KA8TUR. Well, fine. Hey, your GRC-19 is, in fact, getting out to the Detroit area. It's pretty weak, but it is readable, so congratulations to Night Sounding Radio. In any case, still using the modern stuff here just because signal conditions still are a little bit rough, but the good news is that a lot of folks have come up here. Everybody's good except for Brian here, taking KN4R, who's very weak. Other than that, everybody's readable here, so it's nice. It's a good morning. In any case, it's funny, signals don't come up in this area for everybody till about maybe 6:30 in the morning, and then all of a sudden 6:15, 6:30, then all of a sudden the band pops in. In any case, good to catch everybody still on the GRC 236 dipole on the roof, and gosh, as I say, it's good to be out here. Down where it looks like we're going to be sheltered in here for another week here, and then they go through here and basically start loosening up on some of these things. So guys will be able to get out on their boats, and they will be able to also play golf and that sort of stuff. A lot of other stuff will still stay restricted, but they're starting to make some progress. Also the lawn services and some of the other things still require a lot of contact with people. Will open up here, but again, it's a slower process. In any event, everybody take care. Chris will send it on to you. AJ1G, Sony Computer, go ahead and pick it up. This is KA8TUR.
W1GTX.
Stand by, GTX.
W1GTX in there, and I think I got too close to the mic and wasn't paying attention to the modulation monitor scope here. Hopefully this is a little bit better. Thank you, Perry, for the critique. I appreciate it.
and everybody is bullying. Morning, Jeep, Dean, Dale, withering signal here this morning. And yeah, hope we can get the GRC-19 figured out. Yeah, that's a little odd. Maybe it's a band contact or something like that. Ted, great on the BC-191. You've got the BC-191. I think you got it going again. You should bring it up on the CW net. And yeah, I have to say, we had a very light turnout last week. I don't know if what happened to you. You can tell me. You were conspicuous in your absence, and so I just picked it up. I was actually running the net, I believe, on the 191. Yes, I was. I was sending those digital stations scurrying like mice, I think, with that thing. But it was only Dean and Tom, ILA and KK1K showed up, so it was a very short net. Conditions were quite good, as I recall, as well. Also worked... I worked Marty KK4RF on the low end of the 80-meter CW band one morning this week, and that T19 of his sounds tremendous. You'd never know it wasn't anything but a modern radio the way it keys. It's absolutely beautiful. I'll have to sit down with him and have him explain how he did that, because it's a very nice sounding radio. So let's see, who does it go to? And I was not paying attention there, Ted. So you'll have to redirect it. Everybody have a great week. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Wear those masks. That's pretty universal now. Everyone's got masks everywhere. That should have gone down very early on. But, you know, they didn't know. You know, they didn't know how easily this thing was transmitted by non-symptomatic people, and now the statistics are starting to show that there's a lot of them out there, and it may, in fact, have been here a lot earlier than we thought. And we weren't testing, but it was here. And I know of people that, you know, had very nasty, very nasty flu-type situations earlier on in the year after New Year's that, you know, might have in fact, you know, when you look back, it might have in fact been COVID. So anyhow, everyone wear those masks, and they don't work. They don't do any good if they're around your neck or your nose is out. You know, you see a lot of that. It drives me nuts when I see that. Anyhow, 73. God bless everyone. Just take care. W3PWW AJ1G.
Yeah, okay, Chris, very good. Well, a lot of stuff's in bloom down here. I had a very nasty allergy attack. I was in pretty bad shape, so I just decided not to do much that evening. But it's pretty much gone now. But everything's spraying pollen out there. Don't know what plant or tree or whatever it is, but every year it gets me, but it kind of got me that evening. Anyway, it's all going now, so we're back to normal. Okay, next up is W3EMD, KK1K, WA1GTX. W3EMD, Echo Mike Delta, go ahead.
Roger, good morning, Ted, and to the net. W3PWW, W3EMD, in Rhinebeck, New York, 100 miles north of New York City. Very good. All signals are very, very good, except I guess Brian down there in North Carolina was a little on the weak side. I heard the station say they were using a DY-17A, or got one. Of course, this is the DY-17A on the ART-13 at the moment. If that station wants to talk about the DY-17 and the starting circuit, I'm using these 29 farads of capacitance to start the dynamotor. You can send me an email. My W3 Echo Mike Delta on ARRL.net will get to me. So other than that, a very good morning to all, and hope everyone has a nice weekend and avoids any of these problems that are going around. KK1K to take it. This is W3EMD 73, everyone.
W1 to VTP.
Okay, good morning all. W3EMD. This is KK1K. Handle is Dean, located in Milton, Vermont, just north of Burlington, Vermont, copying everyone quite well. Didn't copy Brian really at all. He might have heard a syllable or two, but that was it. But everyone else has come in nicely, and we're running the T3 this morning, listening on the R390A. About 37 degrees up here. Clear sky. It looks like we're going to have a very nice day, maybe the warmest day we've had so far this year, and we're opting for that. Not a whole lot of interesting radio activity going on at this location, so Ted, I'll just thank you for pulling net control duty. Missed you last Sunday night on the OMR net, but glad you're feeling better after that asthma event there. So with that, I'll turn it over to WA1GTX. WA1GTX, this is KK1K. Go ahead.
W1 to VTP.
Okay, got VTP. W1GTX, go ahead.
Good morning, everybody. It's W1GTX here. Yeah, copying everybody well. I mean, for the time I get up, I usually just set it to now to get up at about 6 o'clock, because half the time in the morning, any earlier than that, I usually, everybody's trying to slowly start fading in. But, no, I got bored during this week. I ended up starting to work on my BC375. I got it to be putting out RF and all that stuff right on the money, and just had to figure out a couple other issues with it, but ended up, part of it was brand new, it was never used, and it was in a basement in my town for years, I guess, and I ended up, 2 of the high voltage fuses were gone, and I never realized it because I didn't test it. So then I slowly worked my way through testing things and stuff like that, found the fuse in the dynamotor was dead and the fuse inside the radio was dead. And luckily enough for me, I ended up buying an extra dynamotor on eBay for like $50 and it had 2 good fuses in it, so I swapped them out, got the high voltage finally up to the tubes, so it's pushing out the RF at it was about 75 watts is what I got out of it into a dummy load. So, and then when I turned the receiver on to listen, it kind of sounded like I had a hum in there, so there might be something else dead in the back, so I'll have to pull that apart and figure that one out. So hopefully within the next maybe a month or a few weeks, that thing might be on there as well. So, yeah, I hope everyone's doing all right, staying safe. We're on the ART13 this morning on the AC supply. I didn't feel like pulling a dynamotor off the rack. I'll have to update my pictures on QRZ so you guys can check out the wall of dynamotors. So I can pick and choose between all of them for the ART13. Because I got bored and spent a bunch of money. So, all right. Well, that's enough of me rambling on. Hopefully we can get together for Nearfest in the fall. And maybe one day I can get down to the military event. I forget where it's at. So, all right, 73 is everybody. I'll send it back to you, Sid. So, W3PWW in the old military radio net. It's W1GTX.
Okay, W1GTX, W3PWW. Very good signal down here this morning. And let's see, W1VTP, I believe it is. Go ahead.
Okay, copy with a mouthful. Good morning, all. W1VTP, and name's Al, and I'm located in Manchester, New Hampshire. I got up earlier than usual this morning, and I heard some familiar voices here upon 3885. I'm sorry to report that I don't have a vintage transmitter. I'm not using a vintage transmitter. It's a Class E.
Welcome to your source for amplitude modulation on ham radio. The A.
Make this a one-time, please. And back to net control from W1VTP, Al in Manchester.
Okay, W1GTP, W3PWW, very good. Thanks for checking in. Anyone else for the old military radio net? Anyone else for the net? Please call now.
WB3CTC.
Okay, got CTC. Anyone else?
KK4RF.
Got KK4RF. And I think it's K0SF. Is that correct? Over. Okay, K0FF on frequency also. Anyone else? Got K9GAS. Anyone else?
KD2CQT.
Need a relay on that?
Relay, this is KW1I, that's Doug N1WDS, and W1KZJ, I think, came in as well, over.
Okay, got KZJ. What was the other station, Dale, over?
Doug N1WDS, Whiskey Delta Sierra.
Okay, N1WDS on frequency also. Okay. Let's pick those stations up. We have WB3CTC. KK4RF, K0SF, K9GAS, W1KZJ, and N1WDS. Then back to net control. Mike, up to you. How are things in Lancaster? WB3CTC, W3PWW, then pass to KK4RF. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, okay, Ted. W3PWW in the old military radio net, WB3CTC. Mike in Lancaster, PA, running the ART-13 and the BC-348. And everything in Lancaster here has been very quiet for the past couple weeks. There's hardly any traffic out on the road. And it sure is different, that's for sure. I just hope this all works out. Anyway, and yeah, I was listening on here for quite a while, and the same old stuff is just the band just turned on like somebody flipped a switch. And glad to hear everybody on here today, and hope everybody's getting through the virus thing okay, and hope to catch you all next week. 7-3, everybody. Thanks for running the net, Ted. So KK4RF and the old military radio net. This is WB3CTC.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. WB3CTC in the old military radio net, KK4RF. Well, good morning to everybody that's still on the net. And Ted, I've been listening since about 5:30, and you finally came in really loud around 6:15 this morning. So signals are pretty good. So I'm just only running 40 watts with an old Viking Ranger, and receiving everybody with an old National NC57 receiver. So those were projects I worked on this winter. So anyway, I won't hold it long, and I'll send it over to K0SF and the old military radio net. This is KK4RF.
Yeah, okay, good morning, K0SF. Well, I think propagation is pretty good. Telling it to KK1K is snapping in here. It's probably S9 plus 10 to 15 dB over, but the static level is pretty high. Well, we won't hold it, and but I'd like to say good morning. And Ted, unfortunately, there's a crash. I think it goes to Jerry, K9GAS. I'm not sure. I should probably turn it to you and then you go to the other person. I didn't get it. W3PWW K0SF.
K0SF, I got that PWW. Very good. Nice signal. Mike, powerful signal here this morning. Same with Marty. I thought maybe you were on your rig with the amplifier on it, but that sounds nice and powerful and very good, Marty. Okay, next up, K9GAS, W1KZJ, N1WDS, and back to net control. K9GAS, K9GAS, go ahead and pass it to W1KZJ.
Okay, Ted, good morning to you. I thought there was somebody else trying to jump in here. Gary in Greenwood, Indiana. Still hoping the permanent signal is starting to shorten up, I'm thinking. But anyway, thanks for picking me up here in Greenwood, Indiana. I think we're going to have a pretty moderate day. Patch labs this morning with 3500s. Obviously, the 400 ballast are symmetrically playing with the couple of things. And that's the station here. So, again, thanks again, Ted, for what you should do. I just hadn't been listening too long, so I caught a few. But sounds like we're pretty good, at least pretty good conditions this morning. One KZJ, hopefully you're in the you're in the old military radio net. This is K9GAS.
W1KZJ, go ahead. W1KZJ, one more time.
The TZJ, Tango Zulu Juliet. You heard, Ted.
What's that station, Dale?
If you heard on TZJ, you must have not stayed around.
Okay. Let's try N1WDS. N1WDS, go ahead. N1WDS, okay, good to hear an E-model on. I've heard practically every other one now and then. And good to hear an E-model on, very good. I think the only other E-model I've heard on is the one down in that John has down there in North Carolina, so W4HWT, very good. Okay, one last call. Anyone else? This is the last call. Anyone else? Okay, got WATOW. Anyone else?
Relay. Yeah, I made a mistake before. It's N1TZU. Tango Zulu United needs on frequency.
N1TZU. All right, WATOW, go ahead. And then pass it to W1TZU. N1TZU. WATOW, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. WATOW here. Good morning, everyone on the net. My name is Steve, located just outside of Lansing, Michigan. And beautiful morning. Sunrise this morning is just gorgeous here. I'm on a BC610 Echo, BC610E, listening on a BC779. The antennas are centered at 70 feet, open wire feeders. So just wanted to get in here this morning and say hello to everyone. I hope you're all well, and continue to do so. Back to net control. I hope you're doing well too. WATOW.
That's the second E-model. That makes 3 of them that has checked in here the last few times. But anyway, thanks for checking in. Any other stations for the old military radio net, please call now. This is the last call.
Dale had a relay, Ted.
Go ahead.
N1TZU.
All right, N1TZU, go ahead.
Up near Littleton. He was on a Comanche and a Cheyenne. It's a retirement home that they bought last year. He used to be up in down Maine, and he's rolling into Bow, New Hampshire very well. But he hasn't checked in a long time, and he sounded great. And he's sheltered in up there. Ted, thanks for running the net. I'm going to check out KW1I.
Yeah, N1TZU. That call's familiar. I think he used to check in, but anyway, thanks for the relay. I copied most of his transmission, but he kind of faded down towards the end there. Okay, this is W3PWW. Thanks all for checking in. Had a great net this morning after a very rocky start, but things worked out, and another record net. I think I haven't counted the check-ins, but looks pretty long. Thanks again. This W3PWW closing the net. Ruby QRT.
Thanks for running the net, Ted. 2K4GZQ. Have a nice weekend. 7:30.
Yeah, do the same.
N1TZU, were you calling me? AJ1G. Yeah, N1TZU, N1TZU, AJ1G. Yeah, Bob, the Comanche and Cheyenne sound good. I smiled when I heard you say that because I've got a set of those here. Although they're not working at the moment. Mine are virtually mint condition, and I've got the whole system, including the metal backplane that you would mount the radios on to stick on the transmission hump of your 59 Country Squire. Over.
That's probably one thing that they could use eventually someday, but seem to be operating fine with the dipole that I set up there, ladder center. T9GAS from KK4GZQ. Jerry, you still around? Check out the military radio net.
Okay, Bob, N1TZU, AJ1G. Okay, and well, you're the last guy that needs to be told to make sure you fully vent your electric water heater when you fill it up. We went through that one year at my wife's family's cottage, and someone someone turned the water on, did not vent the water heater, and the electric heating element, it must have not had any water in it at all, because the electric heating element rod, I had a tough time getting it out. It looked like a pretzel when I finally got it out. It was all melted down and everything. Well, yeah, good luck to you. And yeah, that thing sounds really, really good, Bob. And once again, thanks for the help earlier on here this winter when I was having problems with the air in my baseboard system, and I cleaned out the continuous vent valve. And boy, that thing, it didn't seem like it was doing much, but after a day of me cleaning it, all of that air went away. It's amazing. I was thinking of, well, I might still do it once the weather's warmer here and can shut the heat down, and who knows when that's going to be. We've had very cold, last week has been very cold. I'm going to take that, I think it's an Italian brand heating valve apart, or the vent valve apart, and clean it. And it's probably got a clogged up coalescing filter in it there, and but I'm going to have to take the whole system down to do that, so and drain it down. And if I was smart, I'd probably put some isolation valves in so I could do it without draining the system. But at any rate, yeah, good luck up there. Stay warm, stay safe, and yeah, it's doing good. I wonder what you're running for an antenna there. I think you might have said, but signals aren't real strong, and I wonder if you're down in a valley or up, you got a pretty good shot out of there. N1TZU, AJ1G.
and hope you're well. And thanks for hanging in there. We've got a new order here that's today, and I heard that Illinois went to the end of May. What's Indiana and Wisconsin up to? Let's go over to Milwaukee. W9XRT, PHTOW.
Okay, very good, Bob. And I'm not going to hold it too long here because the band is still pretty long and a lot of heterodyning going on. Yeah, good luck with that. Maybe I assume you're going to be coming up. Actually, it's almost time to get in queue there down band on 3875. Yeah, I'll see you on the Lonely Guys. And that Steve should be back, WA1QIX. I've heard him on yesterday with his remote station set up at his former location in Townsend. I guess he's got an easement or some sort of deal with the new owners that he's maintaining a little a shed with a remote station there and his big antenna. I wonder if he's going to bring the QIX Web SDR back up. I haven't looked yet, but it wasn't back yesterday. Anyhow, yeah, I missed that. That's a great asset here, filling in holes and using it for recording your own signal and everything else. Anyhow, yeah, one of the things I'll pass on about the Apache, or not the Apache, the Cheyenne Comanche pair I had is the thing would chirp like a bastard on 40 meters. And I'm wondering if yours does, and something to watch out for that on CW. It would chirp on CW. I think it would FM badly on 40 meters as well. And apparently that had something to do with the VFO operating at its fundamental frequency on 40, and it might have been something about my installation here, but I've never operated it except here to know if it was any different anywhere else with any different antennas. But that thing would chirp quite badly, and what I did was a kind of a JF fix was to I went in there, and you're probably familiar with it if you had it open, the linkage for the band switch. There was a cam or something. It's a cam and lever arrangement. And I kind of faked the, it was awkward, and I earlier for a while. I would go in there and fix the switch lever mechanical arrangement, so the VFO was actually running down at 160. And that seemed to work okay. I got plenty of drive, and of course the dial calibration was all off, but at least I could put out a clean signal. So that's something to watch out for. Anyhow, take care. I'm going to go skedaddle down to 3875 and get checked in for the Lonely Guys net here. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. N1TZU, God bless, from AJ1G. I don't know about wearing a mask outside, but will allow me to get my fire pit
W1GTX.
Yeah, W1GTX, AJ1G, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Yourself? Yeah, I won't hold you here too long so I can go down frequency there. Yeah, no, I got the 375 going yesterday, and it was, I was reading through the book, and I'm like, I forgot to get the settings in the back behind the tubes, and I was just curious where you had some of your stuff at.
What do you mean, where I have my stuff at?
Well, on your 191, I mean, I know the only difference between the two is the voltage, the input. It's only 14 versus 28. So you have the, behind the tubes is your, you have your modulator bias, the speech amplifier setting, and then the input levels.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, I've never adjusted them. You know, there's resistors there for setting the, you know, actually it's kind of like a balancing act, I guess, to set the voltages up, and I think your voltmeter has it as well. I've got a voltmeter switch that looks at the filament voltage on either the for CW or phone. And I think that what goes on is you know, there's on phone, you know, you turn off two of the 211s, and there's resistors there to set up the filament voltage, allowing for voltage drop, I guess, from the, you know, if you're in a vehicle or an aircraft or whatever, to make sure the voltage is right on it, because you're running DC voltage and there's big rheostats in there. So that's the one tricky thing. There's a bias resistor, but I've never really played with them. And the voltages seem fairly normal on mine. Yeah, I'm running mine with a 12-volt BD77 and dynamotor. And I've also, you mentioned a little bit of a hum. One of the things I did is I put a capacitor bank. It's actually just in a little wooden box. It's been sitting there for decades now, right across the output of the dynamotor, and that seemed to help some of the hum. I think a lot of the hum I was getting, and maybe in your case, if you're running the radio off of a battery and a charger, you know, some sort of not a real good filtered supply, just you know, most of those battery chargers. I was running initially a pair of. I run it in several ways. Initially, I still have a pair of late 1980s vintage Sears 10 amp chargers in parallel, and I used to run them in series to make 24 volts when I initially ran my ART13 before I got a bigger supply. And then, and right now what I've got on the BD77 is I've got I think it's a Home Depot. It's one of these little smart chargers that, you know, you can adjust the charging rate, and it's, you know, it's the charge tapers off as you, you know, build up the battery voltage, and you can monitor the battery voltage. And that's just a 10 amp charger. And I'm using like a Group 24 size 12 volt regular automotive, not a marine battery. That works great too, because there's a lot of reserve capability in those. I'm just running the cheapest, I think it's like a $59 Walmart Group 24 battery they had with that 12 volt battery, and you would, you know, run two of those in series. But what I'm getting back to with the hum is if you don't have a fully charged battery, you're going to have more current proportionally coming out of the charger, and the charger doesn't have a lot of filtering on it, so that could be where you're getting some hum. You want to make sure you got a good clean DC going in there. And again, you know, I put that big filter bank on a high voltage on the BD77, and then you know, maybe some of that is coming in from your low voltage to your 24 voltage DC. I don't know how you're running that there. And it's a good dynamotor. I forget the number of the 24 volt version that goes with the 75. The one on the for the 191 is called I call it the Big Dog 77. You know, when I run that radio, I've got 4 211s burning and a BD77 churn, and like the old B36 moniker of 6 turning and 4 burning, when they had 6 big crop ups.
Yeah, W1GTX, yeah. Yes, I believe it's the BD73 for the 24-volt version. Yeah, I got two big deep cycles here, and they're brand new, so they're 105 amp hours each, which doesn't really make a difference when they're in series because it's pushing the 24. But yeah, those things work great. Yeah, I did that. I unplugged my 24-volt charger. It's from an aerial lift, so it'll charge at 20 amps. So it's pretty good. It'll, if you really want to keep the system going, but it gets, when it starts going to charge, you'll hear it in the receiver end of it. So usually half the time I unplug it, so you don't have to listen to it. Yeah, I'll have to look at a couple of different things. Like I said, some of the fuses were kind of on it, so when I got them going, it was running all right. Yeah, I got 3 real 211s in it. The modulators are the 211s, the amplifier is one, but then the oscillator is a 211E, because one of the 211s that came with it was toast. The filament was dead on it, so someone had an E, and really where it's in the oscillator, it really wasn't making too much of a difference power-wise. So it works. But at some point I have to try to find another 211, to have it all match and going across nice. But hey, it's working right now. It's a lot further than it's been. I've had the thing for over a year and a half. It's just been sitting here looking pretty. So, all right, I'll let you go so we can get down to the, if I want to go down alone, you guys, I'll figure it out. So, all right, 7-3 is good to talk to you. If you want to, I updated my QRZ picture for my profile there. You can see I got all the dyno motors for the ART13 sitting along the top above my bench. So, all right, I'll talk to you later, Chris. I'll see you down at 75, W1GTX.
Yeah, W1GTX, AJ1G. That really, my eyes really opened up when you described how you came across this thing. It's kind of like a basement find. I wonder if they had that for civil defense or something like that, and it was in your town hall or something, you said, and somehow you're able to get it. Boy, that's a really weird one. I never heard of that being done. I have heard. I've got the parts of a big old RCA transmitter. It's called an ET4336. And there was an ET4332 medium wave version. The 4336 is a 2 to 20 meg version, I believe. And I've got parts of the medium wave one that cover 500 kc. A lot of those were sent to England on Lend-Lease. ET and an RCA component of the day in the 40s. That would mean export transmitter. And the British ended up with a lot of them, and apparently a lot of them ended up in, they call them secret nuclear bunkers. They were like these various bunkers that were built throughout Europe. They're basically civil defense purposes for local government people to shelter in during a nuclear attack, and they also had all equipped with radio systems so they could communicate afterwards or receive or during or whatever. And a lot of those transmitters ended up in those types of shelters. So I'm wondering if your 375 was there for a similar reason in your town hall. But maybe just by its, I don't know, maybe the other parts disappeared along the way, but it wouldn't be very useful. It's interesting it was a 375 too, because you think maybe they have a 191 for be more easily adapted for vehicular use or something. Anyway, that's pretty cool. And you said it's in like beautiful condition. Those things. I mean, just the tubes alone are, the audio fools just love those 211s. But boy, something like that is awesome. I've seen people who've actually put those in vehicles. I have entertained thoughts of actually, because of its shape factor, it actually fit. Putting a 191 and a BC 312 in the back of my Tacoma pickup, and I got one of the extended cab. It's not the 4-seat. It's not the club cab. It's the extended cab with the little jump seats. And I could definitely put that 191 behind me on a jump seat, and then the receiver on the other side, and it would work. and I had the dynamotor on a floor or something like that. I run my GRC9 that way. I run that for years that way. I put the dynamotor behind the driver's seat, and I strap the radio in over on the right, and I can't operate it well. I can't adjust it while driving. But when I parked, I can just reach back there from the driver's side to the opposite side between the seats there and actually adjust the radio, and that worked great. Anyhow, I'll let you go. I'm going to head down to the check-in here, and we're going to be way down in that. Okay, that's Bob's. Okay, I got TZU's page up here. I changed it over. GTX. Oh, no, I got WW1 GTX. No such thing. Okay, very good, Paul. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, you only have the one picture. You got the wow. that is awesome. You got some great stuff. You got an ATC or an ATD. My God. And the little BC223. Man, you got some cool stuff there. Anyhow, I'll let you run. 2 ART13s. And then, what's that big square black thing? Oh, that's a computer. And you don't have the same scope as me. I have a similar tech scope. I got a 422 here. It's hopefully, if I keep an eye on it, I can keep my modulation under control. Anyhow, I'm going to head down to the down band here. W1 GTX AJ1G.
All right, sounds good, Chris. Yeah, Ross, W1EKG. Had someone call him about the 375, and it was just in someone's basement in my town. It wasn't at the town hall or nothing, but it had everything. All the tuning units were all brand new in the box, and everything was pretty much brand new. So that's how that was found. Fun little toys here. If you look above the 375, I got the Arc 5 stuff up there. I got the modulator with the dynamotor up there as well, and then on the other side, where you can't see it, behind me is the T368. I'll have to work with the page a little bit more to add the picture. So, all right, if I get down there, I'll talk to you later. So, 7.3s from W1 GTX.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the wall Odynamotors. That's awesome. It looks like none of them are hooked up there though. But that's crazy. I got a bunch myself that they're various and sundry types. We'll have to talk about that sometime. Very, very cool. AJ1G.
some trails and stuff to let the dogs get around and pick up ticks and sniff around. Fortunately, they're more protected than I am from the ticks. I'm over B3610 this morning, 779 receiver, my Saturday radio station of choice. And still working on the T40 rig with a couple of really quick Rob stories regarding how he helped me out. This is some 20 years ago or so, but I was working on the T40 rig then. I was doing the very first restoration. It had just arrived from Tom, and I was knee-deep in it, and Rob sent me a T42, and ECR sent me the other T40, and so I'm still using the same two tubes in it, little triodes, not all that little, but little triodes, and Rob said that this would help get the thing back on the air. He was right. He gave me some pointers on how to neutralize it, and just on another note, not too long right before he passed away, he sent me a book that was on E.F. Johnson's Valiant modifications by the factory. So it was factory mod for the Valiant, and nice little book. I think he had assembled it. He sent it to me, and it was just a compilation of all the Valiant
W1BNC, KE1MI, K1PJS, N1XPM, WN4CH, NE1S, N1TZU, and W1GHL, N1PS, WA1UQM, AK1G, WX10, W1GTX, and KC2FXC. And that's the last time we were over.
K1 Lima Charlie.
Hey, Roger, bud.
Thank you, Mark.
Mark, what's the story with Steve QIX? Is he settled in the new house yet?
I understand he's up there. And he's supposed to come on the air today. He's supposed to put up an antenna or something. But that's all I've heard. I didn't get any emails or anything.
Well, thanks, Mark. Yeah, I sent him an email. I didn't hear back from him, so I was concerned that how he was totally recuperating after his virus. He and his wife, and I know a lot of strain moving, so hopefully he gets settled and in place, and hopefully we'll hear his voice this morning.
Yeah, I got an email from Steve last night, and he has a lower powered station. I think it was online. I don't know where it's transmitting from, but it's online anyway. So I'm expecting to hear from him any time now. But considering that he just survived the coronavirus, and he had this huge move, it's amazing that he's on the air. If he doesn't show up, I'm prepared to pick the net. And I noted that you have another upload to do, Mark, W1VTP.
Hey, how you doing, Al? I'll be with you in a couple of minutes here. W1VTP and the Lonely Guys Pre-Nuts, WA1QIX, remote control with low power. It's good to hear your voice, Steve.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I think I heard Jim in that. That was a double. I heard Jim. Got that out of that. Yeah, let me grab my morning cup of orange juice. Nothing with my morning cup of orange juice. And we'll catch you guys in a few minutes here.
Is the transmitter in effect now,
This one is, yeah, the 360 watt rig. And it was the only rig I didn't actually have to rebuild from the ground up, which is part of our Lonely Guys topic as suggested by one of our members. Anyway, I shall be back after getting some juice. If you guys will hear me all right. WA1TYX.
Good morning. This is WA1IWT.
Morning, Joe.
W1EKG.
Hey, Larry. Hey, Steve.
Okay, I got Dub and I got W1EKG.
Yeah, how's that cabin fever going anyway? What's it talking? Yeah, that's a good place to be. I finally got my other modulation monitor to work. Okay. We got a few minutes left. W1 VTP. Good to hear Steve back on the air. I did get a note from Peter ZZZ, and he seems to be his normal self. He's just having some mobility problems right now. But there's nothing, it's not getting any fast curves necessarily, but his illness is an inexorable one. And so he's able to deal with it. He just hasn't been able to get to the transmitter or the station yet. I asked him to please at least listen. And even if he checks in and doesn't say anything, that would be great too. W1 VTP.
Yeah, that's what they told us here in Vermont too, Larry, and it's cloudy here as well. Kind of disappointing. You're talking about people getting out. Can you imagine living in New York City and being piled up like cordwood down there? I mean, that's got to be just horrible for those people because they're used to going all the time. And yeah, I can't imagine because they've really been shut in down there. We're lucky up here. I've been outside every day too, and I don't know, life's pretty much the same for me. I even went to work a few days last week, so that was kind of nice. Yeah, what's normal, right?
There's some guys out there that have wide band receivers and they can hear it. And you can see where it cuts off with Rick's walls right there at 8K. And when you guys watch the screen and you notice my sharp filters, that's it right there. So I got a little adjustments to bring the highs up, bring the lows down, because for some reason my voice
and did telework in there.
It's in a lot of bass.
That's all cracked up.
The next one I go through is more compression. Now this one I really bumped the compression up really high. This is 10 to 1 compression. It's bumped up really hard, but it's not, it doesn't clip very much, but it is bumped up. Also, by the way, this is what I'm transmitting on. It's Apache Labs AON 7000. It's SDR radio. It's, in my opinion, one of the top of the line radio HS rates you can buy. If you're just into CB radio, this probably wouldn't be an option for you to go out and buy, but you know,
And he is really suffering here at property in Maine. And
most of them already know about this radio anyways.
He can't go up to his main.
But it covers everything.
Apparently they have some extra.
What up, 841?
Restrictions that don't allow him to go up there.
What's going on?
Unless he stays there for 14 days. Of course, that ain't going to work out.
Folks don't believe that, but you can.
Yeah, they got to do that here too. That's kind of to discourage the out-of-staters from vacating the city and coming up here, Al. They did that here when this first started. You come to Vermont, you stay here for 2 weeks before you go back. But
that's a 1K, and it's almost 200% modulation. A lot of guys don't think you can get that much out of
a friend of mine who
has
a neighbor.
That's secret.
That neighbor has some in-laws. And they come up on the weekends and come and go as they please, and then go back
highly modified,
Sunday night or Monday, whenever.
Different, but
and he has, I guess,
but
protocol.
With that right there, running audio mulch, I will get the same sharp filters. It looks good on the scope, looks good on the pan adapter.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people doing that too. That was what they were
all you got to do is download audio mulch. It's not free. I think it's $80, something like that. I mean, you can go and get a bunch of free plugins and play with yourself. It's really not that hard to do.
Right. Well, that's what it is. They didn't want them all coming here and doing them in the healthcare. You know, we only got 620,000 people here. And they just didn't want them coming here and overwhelming the healthcare system that, you know, that Vermont has, which obviously is not nearly as good as other states.
The town I live in has about 3,800 souls in it. In the summer, it's got over 30,000.
Doesn't surprise me. Definitely doesn't surprise me because a lot of towns are like that. People show up here in the summertime. I'm sure there's quite a few. Not surprised me. That's just Florida. You know, I mean, same thing. Populate Florida with more folks than they normally have. Yeah, the last thing you want is snowbirds.
I've been doing some reading on that, and they haven't confirmed that. But it could be that virus, the COVID-19 virus that's in the cat. It's in the big cats too, some tigers and regular house cats also. But it could be have a different protein buildup, in the because there's like a protein coat over the virus. That's what makes it susceptible to like alcohol and cleaning fluids. Any kind of an alkali is going to break down the lipids. But the lipid coat may be different in the cat than it is in human. So I got to do a little more studies on it. But I haven't seen anything. I was reading the MMWR from the CDC. I usually read that every week. and they haven't really said very much about that. But it's very well to do that the makeup is different than it is in the unitary.
Yeah, I followed that, but how would that explain transmission one way and not the other?
Well, because the lippy coat, I'm sure, has the receptors for the virus to hang on, and the receptors can be different in animals than in plants. I'm really weak in biology. My degrees in chemistry, took some biochemistry, but I got you, Ken.